Daylight saving time in the United States. Today we're going to read to find out about daylight saving time in the United States. You can see here in parentheses it's been abbreviated DST. Sometimes when we're writing, we spell it out DST just to make it a little shorter or quicker. But when we pronounce it, we say daylight saving time. But if you see it here with a DST, you'll know that that means daylight saving time. Usually, the first time someone does that, they put it here in parentheses to let you know that this is referring back to the word before it. So today we're going to talk about what is daylight saving time? And when did we first start implementing daylight saving time? Why do we implement it? And what times of the year are affected by daylight saving time? If you have a copy of your own text, you should follow along as I read so that you can practice your own pronunciation. You can always pause this video or go back so you can listen again. Daylight saving time in the United States. Daylight saving time begins every year on the second Sunday in March. This tradition has been around in the United States since 1918, more than 100 years ago. But the U.S. was not the first to adopt it. Germany began implementing daylight savings time in 1916 at the height of World War I to conserve energy. The United States thought that daylight saving time could also help its own country save on energy. By extending evening daylight hours in winter, it would help people use less coal and candles as they stayed outside longer when it was lighter. When daylight saving time begins in March, we move the clocks forward 1 hour. This change continues all the way until the first Sunday in November. On this day, we will move the clocks backwards 1 hour. We make these changes at 2 a.m. Most of today's cellular phones, computers, and digital clocks that have up-to-date technology will change themselves at this time. However, you will still need to reset some of the clocks in your home, office, or automobile. While the United States does participate in daylight saving time, not all states do. Arizona and Hawaii do not change their clocks. And many of the U.S. territories, including Puerto Rico and Guam, remain on standard time year-round. Now we are going to test our knowledge and see what we remember from the text. At any time, you can pause this video, or you can go back and you can look at your text again or listen to the video again if you need help with some of the answers. When does daylight saving time begin in the U.S.? Does it begin on the third Sunday of March, on the second Sunday of April, or on the second Sunday of March? If you're not sure, remember you can go back to your text to look for the answer. You can always put this video on pause, or you can rewind it to listen again. Did you say it begins on the second Sunday of March? If so, you are correct. It begins on the second Sunday of March each year. All right, let's try the next one. Why was daylight savings time first introduced? Was it to give people more daylight time to have fun, to conserve energy, or to reduce work-related accidents? Do you remember what the text said? Go back to the text if you're not sure. Did you say it was to conserve energy? If you said to conserve energy, you would be right. It might have given people more daylight time to have fun, but it was first introduced because the people in our government were worried about conserving energy, and they wanted to save coal and candles, and that would help conserve energy. All right, let's try question 3. Which country was the first to adopt daylight saving time? Was it Germany, Austria, or the United States? I don't remember hearing anything about Austria in the text, but they did say something about Germany and the US. Do you remember which country was first? If you said Germany, you were right. Germany was the first to adopt daylight savings time, followed by the United States. We came second. The US adopted daylight savings time in what year? Do you remember? Germany adopted it in 1916, and we followed in 1918. If you went back to your text, you would find that the US adopted daylight savings time in 1918. That means we started it in the year of 1918. During daylight savings time, the clocks move an hour. Do they go backward, sideways, or forward when we start daylight savings time in March? If you said forward, you would be correct. They spring forward 1 hour in March. When does daylight saving time end in the United States? The first Sunday in November, the last Sunday in November, or the first Sunday in December? In the text, they didn't say anything about December, so it's definitely not this one. Do you remember if it's the first Sunday or the last Sunday in November? If you go back to the text, you can find that it is the first Sunday in November. And what time do the clocks change to begin and end daylight saving time? Do we change the clocks at 1 a.m., at midnight, or at 2 a.m.? Did you say 2 a.m.? If so, you would be correct. We change them at 2 a.m. because that is in the middle of the night, and it's the time where most people would be the least affected by that change. And so the clocks, a lot of clocks will change themselves, like your cell phone and your computer. And then the rest of your clocks you can get up and change when you wake up in the morning. You have to do those by hand and reset your clock. All 50 U.S. states participate in daylight saving time. Is this true or false? Do all of our states participate in daylight saving time? If you said false, you are correct. Hawaii and Arizona do not participate in daylight savings time, along with some of our territories like Puerto Rico and Guam and a few other places. So not all of our U.S. states participate. Great job! You did it! Now you know more about daylight saving time. You can always go back and listen to this video again if you need more information about daylight saving time. See you next time.